First, we have to emulate being a lowly Smeg. So, I'm going to use Ugly Baby here, because he has no armor, like a Smeg. And I'm going to give him Smeg weapons. Let's see, we'll give him Holy Roman Empire, give him a steak knife, whip, and one of those little ass bucklers. So, now, Ugly Baby simulates being a Smeg. Alright, next. Turn off the music sound effects so you can hear me talk. Visible joystick so you can see what the hell I'm doing. So close that. Alright. So, these will be the basics of Bloody Bastards if you're new at playing. Alright, first of all, keep your secondary, oh my god, keep your secondary or shield extended. Never mind. He's got the meta death axe that's made out of cast iron. The entire handle's made out of cast iron. I don't know that, but that thing just destroys everything. Anyway, let's try this again. Anyway, when you swing, you want to use elliptical swings because that has the most angular momentum. And when you have a longer weapon than this knife, like a sword, it'll actually whip the sword ahead of your wrist like it should. But the knife is kind of difficult. Like, I'm literally kind of just hammer fisting them with the pommel. The knife is really meant to go from underneath and stab people. So when you're first starting out, you want to do that. But that's not going to do anything to this guy. Anyway, yeah, you keep your secondary or your shield extended. That helps your posture lean forward for your strikes. And then small elliptical swings. Because with an ellipse, when you get to that little tight corner on an ellipse, the angular momentum whips around it. So, you know, it's basically the physics work that way. Angular momentum comes into play a lot. The mass of the weapon, the balance of the weapon, a lot of that has to do with how powerful they are. It's not just, you know, made up stats. This is what I can extrapolate. I don't actually know this, but it seems that way because, like the axe I normally use a lot, it's kind of L-shaped. It's kind of like a mattock or a pickaxe. And the reason that works so well is you got all that mass behind the point of impact. So when that point impacts, you have all that weight, you know, kinetically pushing on that point. And that's why that axe is so deadly. And, you know, a lot of these weapons are that way. You can't really do much with this little knife, though, because it's more meant for stabbing. I'm going to go ahead and switch to some actual weapons here. I'll switch to my favorite axe. This is my favorite axe in the game. This is what I'm most proficient at. And you can, if you look at the shape, it's basically like a mattock, but with a vertical edge. It's an axe. So this thing has a lot of power. And for secondary, I don't like shields. Shields hem you up. So I'll stick a sword in my left hand. And what you can do with a sword is you can basically plant it over the enemy's head, and that blocks all their overhand attacks. Like this ball and chain, to keep that sword high. And also I can snap that sword in his face, and it's always right there. It's always in a guarded position. I can just snap it into a strike, and it's still right there where I need it. And I can just come in with the axe and just annihilate. But there's just so much power in this axe, and it's mostly the shape. The shape of weapons is a big deal in this game. Anyway, it's not as complicated as it looks, and your weapon is only as good as you are. Anywho, have fun.